Cops don't like me, so I don't like cops.
Badges don't grant extra rights. This is CopBlock Radio on the FPRN Radio Network. Here are your hosts, Eric, Adam, and Scott.
All right, hello everybody, and welcome to the Copblockradioshow Radio Show. I am your host, Scott Amaji. Eric is unavailable this evening. He's got some things going on, so it'll just be myself and Adam. How you doing, Adam?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Oh man, I'm like I feel like I'm a female. I might be on my period or something. I'm like, I don't know if it's stress or if I'm just like ready to just throat punch somebody, and it's not even Thursday. Sometimes it just gets to me too much, man.
Well, what's getting to you too much, though?
Oh, you name it. Just and articles, life, work. It just seems like, sometimes everybody needs a vacation. And I think I'm at that point.
I agree with you there.
So, like we said, Eric will, hopefully be joining us later. He has some things he was taking care of. So Adam and I are kind of just, going to hang out and have a couple conversations, talk about some things. As always, we will be taking live calls. If you want to call in, the number's 567-314-9296. Hit the 1234 and then the pound sign, and the producers will get you on the queue, get you on live. And then the preferred way of, getting in touch with us on the show is always Skype. And if you add our producers on Skype, it's at FPRN Radio Live. Add them, they'll add you back, and then they'll bring you on. So there you have it. I guess I should say that today is September 4th, and we are here from 9:30 until 11:30 this evening. You can catch us live now, or later on we'll post up the show notes. We'll keep track of those for Eric, who usually posts them up. He does a great job on that. And then we'll get it up on the podcast.
That's right. So from what I understand, exciting weekend in Keene this weekend, correct?
It just seems like I miss all the fun. I mean, I have fun, but it sounds like Eric has some big news we were hoping he could bring to you. One of our producers, Kyle Freeman, was on a little excursion adventure and did some cop blocking, and we'll probably be bringing him on tonight to discuss it.
Oh. No, yeah, from what I hear, from what I've gotten from everybody, it was an exciting weekend. How was your weekend?
Oh, it wasn't bad, man. Had a little shindig, and actually had Kyle came over, and we, celebrated the fact that we get to give money to people that we don't agree with, or they will throw us in cages. So we pretty much just had a bunch of beer and got drunk and ate.
There you go.
I mean, some people celebrate. We were a little bit sad that we have to give our money to people who do things that we don't like.
Mm-hmm. I had the same conversation with my father this weekend, actually.
How'd that go?
It was good. No, my family, most of my family, fully supports what I do and agrees with me on the topics that I like to talk about. So at least I have a lot of family support. So
yeah, I mean, I think that it's hard. Sorry, I'm like choking down on some soda here. I think that it's hard if you don't have that element of support from an inner group of friends who either at least support or agree with what you're saying. And there was a long time, and I kind of struggled for a while where I was, pretty much seeing what was going on, and it was hard for me not to have that support group of people who were like, no, you're not, like telling me that I'm not crazy, or telling people who would agree with what I was saying and could see the things that I was talking about.
Yeah.
I think that you kind of, whenever you start to look at things in a different manner than you're taught through your government indoctrination center, you have a hard time dealing with people who just don't see it for how it is and what it is. I know that, I've lost some friends over it, but you know what? I've actually made even better ones. So it's pretty much, I'd say I'm ahead. I'm ahead on the game. Similar experiences?
I don't think I've lost many friends per se, but definitely, like you said, gained a lot of way better ones. I've met so many awesome people that have reached out to me with the Spokane CopBlock, made quite a few new friends here in town that I would have never known existed, and I've built some pretty good relationships with them. I mean, this last weekend, actually a couple of gentlemen I've met through Spokane CopBlock that fully support the Spokane CopBlock, we actually all went out together this weekend and went shooting. I mean, we went and exercised our Second Amendment right. I mean,
nice.
It was a blast.
Pun intended or pun?
Yeah, pun intended.
Yeah, and that's one thing. I've reached out to different groups, and I've had some really good conversations in the past. And it's really, I mean, for me, it's pretty much only been about the past, going on a year and a half or 2 years. I kind of started down that road and just really jumped right in, and I've had some really good conversations with some people, either, handing out business cards. I've had a lot of really good conversations with people in bars. Not that I'm, a bar fly or anything, but, just conversations about people. And you overhear conversations. I'm kind of a social person. I'll talk to anybody. And I always carry CopBlock cards in my wallet. I've probably handed out more of those than my actual business card just through conversation. Yeah, man, it's hard, but once you get that attitude and you get all that ammunition, and you can talk about things, and instead of just talk at people, you can hold a conversation and ask questions. And I kind of got to the point where I just ask a lot of questions. And I'm like, well, what do you think about this? Or have you heard about that? And I think that, if you're really trying to make a difference, and you're not going to, you can't force somebody into change. You have to help them to work through it,
Oh, completely. I fully agree with you. Everybody I've ever gone out with and handing out flyers and like that, it's the small talk that really helps lead them into understanding what you do. Because you can't just come out and blatantly be like, well, I just go out and film police. You have to explain in a way that interests them, basically. Well, I'm sure you've heard of police abuse and people having the crap kicked out of them by the police. And so basically, we go out and we film the interactions to make sure that doesn't happen. And if it does happen, we have it on film to help protect that person.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of people just they have a hard time wrapping their head around the concept that the police aren't necessarily out there to do what they say that they're there to do.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just come at people and they're all about extortion, and you have to really explain to them, like, there's a lot of abuse that's going on that's unreported, and it's just an impartial thing. And one of the things that I've had really good conversations with people about is, how they're actually treated, even if they're not abused, if they're just disrespected by the police officers whenever they're pulled over for a speeding ticket. And I get real big into speeding ticket conversations, and what were the police asking you? What did they do? How was their demeanor? And then I'll get into the conversation about, what if that was your job and you spoke to somebody regardless of what their relationship was. If you spoke in that manner to someone, how would that what would happen to you? And a lot of people say, I'd be reprimanded or disciplined, or I could lose my job for something like that. And I'm like, well, don't you think that someone who's supposed to be protecting and serving, and you're paying their salary, this person is someone, and I try to stay away from the whole taxation stolen thing. I just, these are your taxes. Are you happy about that? And do you think that it's right that these people are allowed to go about their day and treat more than, because if they do it once, they do it again. And, then people, they start conversations,
Mm-hmm. No, I fully agree with that. That works as a better way to explain. I've found is you don't go into the theft of your taxes. You talk about them to the fact that you're paying the taxes to support these individuals and wear these costumes and badges to come out and supposedly protect us, but half the time they come out with these attitudes and rush up on you and treat you like you're crap and like you're a lower being, and yet you're the one paying them.
Yeah, I think that once you can kind of get the people into put them back, like, okay, what about your job, and kind of take them out of it and be like, well, how do you feel about it this way, and then get them to look at it at a different angle. I mean, I could go on for hours about the stolen money thing, but not everybody agrees with that, and not everybody thinks there's a lot of people out there who think, well, this is how it is, and we have to pay taxes, and we have to give our money so they can protect us. And I'm like, well, but what if they're not protecting us? Mm-hmm. So sorry, I was watching a video here, and I'm gonna try. I don't know if there's any audio on it, but it's on. If you're on Facebook, on Police to Police, it's this one that says a community project, and the title of it is a cop tries to beat people and he gets drop kicked. So I gotta send this over to the guys. I get all these random emails and things like that. People are sending stuff, but this cop literally just gets drop kicked right in the head. So I'm a huge fan of RT, but that's where it was at. And now I'm so sidetracked it's not even funny. So we're gonna post that video up just because it's awesome.
Now we have we got our awesome update from Pete and Jacob out on the police accountability tour down in Africa right now. The producers want to pull up that clip, and we'll hear their update real quick.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Jacob Crawford. I'm with Pete Air, and we're on the police accountability tour. If you guys haven't seen it yet, we've been on the road for the last 3 weeks traveling the United States. We're right now in Cape Town, South Africa. We've been on the ground for the last week, filming and documenting interactions with the police. And while some of these interactions have been extremely hostile, we have definitely felt our impact. What you're going to see right now is an interaction that Pete had last night as he was out watching the police not far from where we stay.
So just want to provide a recap. I'm out here in Cape Town in this workout area, this outside workout area. It's probably close to midnight. Came over here, I saw some blue lights. I decided to film them. This police vehicle drove up the street, made a U-turn, came back down the street. And, based on the interactions Jacob and I have had thus far on the ground, I didn't know if they maybe even saw me filming and were going to come harass me, but they turned when the road teed, continued on, stopped about a block later, stopped an individual walking, who I later learned his name was Edward. And as he told us, he was just walking, and they essentially just asked him what he was doing and demanded that they be able to search him. After the two highwaymen left Edward be, I approached him on foot. I showed Edward the video that I had taken and told him, hey, I wanted to take this to create an objective record in case something, even worse would have happened, in case they would have started beating you or something like that. He seemed very appreciative, and so I asked him if he'd be willing to sit down and have a conversation about it.
My name is Edward Mitchell. I'm here from South Africa. I'm staying here on the streets of Sea Point since I was 7 years old. Now I'm turning, the 4th of December, I'm turning 26 years old. I used to snuff glue. I used to rob people. I used to be in infirmaries, prison, out of prison again. And like this police, everywhere we go, they stop us, they search us for nothing. They don't search the people who do crime, but the innocent people, they always get stopped in the main roads, get searched. If you don't do your cooperation, they will beat you. And most of the police, they are the biggest criminals here in South Africa, because why they smuggle with the criminals here. But with the drug houses, they know the people where the drug dens and what, they leave the people drugs like that. But if the people give them money, they are fine. They are connected with the criminals. You understand what I'm saying? Like the firearms and stuff, all the illegal stuff, they sell it to the people, to the criminals, to the gangsters. It's all about money.
While showing Edward that footage, the same police vehicle with the same 2 police employees that had just shooken him down a few minutes prior drove by, and it slowed down as it passed us and approached the curb, and I thought they might stop and come at us, but after hesitating momentarily, they continued on. As I told him, there's no victim, there's no crime, and if he's sleeping on property that nobody owns per se except the public, and he's a member of the public, I see no issue with that. And I definitely do see an issue with 2 strangers approaching him on the street and shaking him down. And he did, like I pointed out the back of this hoodie, badges don't grant extra rights. He seemed to really resonate with him. So I'm going to continue my workout. Hopefully no other road pirates show up. And actually right now I see a police van, but they're driving on right now. Another road pirate. In light of witnessing the experience that Edward was subjected to, it reminded me that earlier today, when Jacob and I were walking back to our crash spot, we were just buying some groceries, we saw across the street from where Edward had just been shaken down, we saw 2 police employees talking to another individual, and we filmed from across the street. We weren't exactly sure why that person had been stopped, but it leads me to believe now, with the knowledge that Edward shared, that perhaps that person was also stopped and frisked. Some people might try to support this practice of stop and frisk, but think about it. If you give a group of people the right to stop and shake down somebody else based on their appearance or for any other arbitrary reason, what kind of precedent does that set? If you would admit that it's wrong for me or you to stop some random person do that, yet you think somebody else wearing a piece of tin on their costume has that right, you establish a double standard. And once that double standard is established, it makes even worse transgressions of rights much more probable. It's definitely not the kind of practice that helps bring about a free society.
For more of the content that we've been documenting on the ground in Cape Town and beyond, go to copblock.org/tour and check out the videos. And big shout out to the CopBlock Radio Show. We really appreciate you giving us a little bit of time every week to share our experiences to so many like-minded people across the country and world.
Dude, did we just get a shout out from South Africa?
We totally did.
Damn, that's awesome.
From Jacob Crawford.
I know.
Complete shout out from South Africa. Yeah.
Yeah, very, very cool. So it sounds like those guys, I was still kind of amazed, following the guys and seeing where they were at, that they ended up in South Africa. It just seemed, very, very random, but it sounds like as soon as they hit the ground, they jumped right in there, and the videos and the posts and stuff have just been very, surprising how much activism they've been able to, take part in, and they're really doing a good job spreading the message over there. It's awesome.
No, yeah, I've been watching all their update videos and everything like that, and it's awesome that they're down there doing that, and they have the balls to go down to a totally different country and just film the crap out of the police and yeah, not back down and cower to them when they try to be stopped. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, no, they're in Cape Town, right?
Yep.
Oh, is Johannesburg? That's in South Africa too, isn't it? Aren't you a geography major? No, I'm kidding.
No, I am not.
Nor am I. But it just popped into my head that I think it was in Johannesburg that there was this guy who invented this thing, and and there's a really, really big problem with carjacking in Johannesburg. So this guy invented this, essentially it's a flamethrower that is activated from inside the car. So, if somebody was coming to carjack you, you would hit this button and flames would shoot out from underneath the vehicle on both sides of the driver's door and the passenger door, and just totally engulf whoever was trying to carjack you. That might be handy in Mexico, where they have some some corrupt people with badges down there. That'd be a shame. Not to promote violence, but when you're being aggressed upon.
That's crazy. A flamethrower.
I know, it's so badass. Yeah, it was so badass. I'm trying to keep all my thoughts in line here. We need Eric to ground us so we can stay on track, but whatever.
We do. So used to having Eric to keep us on track.
So right. I'm not sure if you want to, we can get into some articles here if you want to do that. Do you have anything that, jumps out at you?
Off the top of my head here.
So the big one that kind of, the first one that I wanted to talk about was, this was from Frederick, Maryland, and we actually talked about this a little bit. I'm not sure which show. I think we might have, hinted at it a time or two, but this is in Frederick, Maryland. The issue happened on January 12th, 2013, and the article that I'm kind of referencing is from Police State USA, which is an awesome website. If you go to policestateusa.com, you can check out these the links and check out this article that I was reading. But so what had happened was there was this a gentleman who was 26. He was born with Down syndrome, so he has an IQ of 40. So he went to see the movie Zero Dark 30, which is, in my opinion, statist propaganda. But what had happened was he watched the movie. He really liked it. He was excited. He wanted to see it again. And his aide didn't have enough money to pay for another ticket. So she was trying to, convince him that they needed to leave. So I guess the theater had called in their security. Well, their security just happens to be two guys with shiny badges who have in their eyes extra rights. So what happened was there was a conversation between the aide and the sheriffs or the police or whatever you want to call them. I can't remember what their technicality title is, but there ended up being an altercation, and this young man, Robert Saylor, he ended up dying, and this was the gentleman with Down syndrome. So there was an investigation, and they found themselves, to be not responsible. And then there was I just totally lost my,
lost your train of thought there a little bit, huh?
They took it before a grand jury. That's the word I was looking for. You didn't know what I was going to say? Grand jury? Come on, man. So they took it before a grand jury, and and apparently they said that there was no fault to the officers, that this man had perished. So the reason that we're talking about it now is there was new details to this case, and he was wearing handcuffs whenever he was killed, but they said that they now say the official cause of death was asphyxiation, and an autopsy revealed that the man suffered a peculiar injury, which was the fractured throat cartilage. So they have an expert. I don't know if this is a medical examiner or somebody who's got a bunch of pieces of paper on the wall. They said that it could only have been caused by force of some kind. Force which could have included direct blow or manual strangulation. So really, I don't see how they cannot just open this case right back up with these people coming out, or this person coming out and say that. But ever since this man died on January 12th, these officers are still on the force. Even if they weren't on the force, they would still be getting their paychecks every Friday. But I really hope that something happens and that the people of Frederick come together and say, we're not going to stand for this. This is unacceptable. This would be unacceptable if it was anybody who was killed. But this just makes it even worse that it was a person who was born with disabilities. And I hope that the people of Frederick can really make their voice heard, even though I don't have much faith in that. But I'm the kind of person that if I would have seen it, I would have offered to pay their ticket. It's just $10. It was probably like a Sunday matinee or something like that. $10. Even if it's $15 or $20, you have to pay for both of them. I hope that there's enough good people out there, and unfortunately there wasn't any good people in there, aside from this aide that was trying to help.
Yeah, that is sad. It's always sad to see when men with shiny badges decide that they want to pick on someone with mental disability because they feel they need to for some reason.
Yeah, I think that Adam Kokesh kind of said it the best when he talks about how they must have small penises, and I'm very sorry for that. The fact that they have small penises, because I don't know what else it could be.
Well, it's more or less along those lines. Absolute power corrupts. It's you get into a position where you feel almighty, and basically almost no one can tell you what to do. You get to boss around everyone else. You become this feeling of this power that you have, and basically you look down upon everyone else and feel that they're worthless and not as good as you are, and you start to treat everyone that way, whether or not they deserve it or not. And I think that happens a lot more often than it should. I know there are officers out there that don't and know how to keep that separation apart and not feel like they're awesome, huge, powerful men that can walk all over anyone. But there are those that get big-headed and they just treat everyone like crap.
Yeah, there was a really good video, and this, I can't remember whenever it came out. I think it was in like 2009 or 2010. But I've seen it. I'm sure a lot of people have seen it. The title of the video is just called One Good Cop. And it's, I'm not sure how people feel about, religion or what their beliefs are. But, America, this country was based on, freedoms, one of which being, freedom of religion. And there was two gentlemen that were going across the country, and they were hitchhiking, basically, or walking. And one of the things that they were doing was walking. I think they were walking to D.C. from out west, and they were activists that were talking about 9/11, and they talked about how it was a cover-up. Now, regardless of how you feel about 9/11, it's their right to say how they feel about it. You can say, we should go do this because this is what happened, but it's their same right that allows them to say they think it was a cover-up. So what happens is it's kind of like I found it's like a 7-minute documentary, and these two guys are just basically walking across the country, and it shows time and time again how their interactions are with the police, because they're, carrying signs, and, they look like they're hitchhikers, and just some of the arrogance of people not willing to accept their view on this. So there was one incident, and it was the one guy was in a Guantanamo jumpsuit, and he had a bag over his head, and they were just quietly standing there. One guy was holding a sign, the other guy was, black bagged, and a sheriff or a state trooper came walking up and just said, "Hey, how's it going?" He was very polite, very respectful. Didn't ask him for their IDs. Didn't ask him to move along, said that they got a call that somebody was, in handcuffs and black bagged, and he just wanted to come and check it out. And the guy walks away, and the cop walks away, and he looks at him, he's like, what, that's a good cop. And that was one of the videos that I watched, whenever I was first starting to get into things. So if you have time, go check out, it's called One Good Cop. Go to YouTube, it's there, if you haven't already seen it.
Was that the two guys that were traveling all over doing that?
Yeah, they were like these, religious guys, and I can't remember what church they were. Two members of the Be It Shalom Ministries.
I remember. I've seen that video. That was a really good video. That one officer that came up, and he was totally respectful and awesome about it, and just, all right, you guys are good, all right, and walked away.
Yeah, he was pretty candid about the fact that he's like, so what happened? How's that guy? He goes, did he draw the short straw? He's got to wear the jumpsuit today. Like, he was cool about it.
Yeah, he was totally cool about it. That was a great video shot of an awesome cop, or at least he was acting very well at that time.
I hope that it's contagious.
Yeah, it would be awesome if it was contagious. That would be great.
So, we're waiting for our we're on time here. We're going to head to break. If you stick with us, we will be back in a few minutes. This is the CopBlock Radio Show.
In 1997, a high school shooting was stopped by a vice principal with a gun. In 1998, a middle school shooting was ended by a neighbor with a gun. In 2002, a terrorist attack was stopped by a school guard and a teacher with a gun. After September 11th, pilots began carrying guns to protect their passengers. Let's give our schools and teachers the same option. Sign the petition at defendschools.com.
Hi, I'm Trevor Moore. Due to the recent revelations that in order to fight terrorism, the NSA has been using a secret court order to spy on every single Verizon and AT&T customer, Americans have become outraged and concerned about their rights to privacy. But along with that concern comes a feeling of hopelessness. I mean, what can we do? Vote in new leaders? Well, the problem is that during an election, each candidate pretends to not be an asshole. Then when they get the job, they reveal that they've actually been a complete asshole this entire time. No, elections are of no use. The only way to fight back against our country's excessive wiretapping and data mining is to make it irrelevant. That's why we're launching Operation Everyone Talk Like a Terrorist all the time. If we all openly discuss terrorist plots in each of our phone conversations, then eavesdropping on those phone conversations becomes pointless. It's simple. We just need to work it into our daily vernacular. For example, instead of saying, "I love you," you could describe a terror attack. The larger the scale, the more you love the person.
Hi, Mom. I just got out of school. Can you pick me up?
I'll be there in 15 minutes. I'm gonna use a truck bomb to blow up the Brooklyn Bridge.
I'm yelling anthrax to Purist Morgan.
Or nonsense about God's will being great could mean affirmative.
Hey, man, they have a 7:30 show, and do you think you can make it in time?
God is merciful and his love is unchanging. Did you already get me a ticket?
And those are just a few examples. You can make up your own. Have fun with it. But it's time for us to stand up and protect our rights. Because those assholes aren't going to.
Nothing is more American than Diamond Gusset jeans. 100% American made since 1987. Soft and broken in from the start, yet more rugged and durable than any jean you've ever worn. Have you ever experienced missized jeans from China? Well, you won't with Diamond Gusset. Every pair is crafted to fit exactly the same and always feel like they were custom made. Need a 35, 37, or 39 waist? How about a 31 inseam? We keep all sizes in stock for the fit you need. Looking for a relaxed fit, slim fit, regular fit, boot cut, or straight leg? We got you covered. Buy the world's best fitting jeans at Gusset.com or call 1-888-8GUSSET. Get free Gusset targets for the next time you go to the shooting range with the purchase of their new Ranger jean. Use code COMFORT when ordering to receive free shipping on all Gusset orders at Gusset.com. That's Gusset.com to get only the best all-American jeans.
Hello, fellow patriots. This is Joseph Nazari, Director of Training Operations with Line of Fire, LLC, Professional Firearms Training Group, located in Las Vegas, Nevada. The fact that you're listening to this show is evidence to me that you are a true patriot and you do value your freedoms. As all patriots know, with freedom comes responsibility, and if you own a firearm, training should be an integral part of your personal defense profile. If you're considering quality firearms training, Line of Fire LLC should be your first choice. We teach all types of firearms training for all types of individuals, from the novice to the most advanced shooters. At Line of Fire LLC, we have a course for you. Please, feel free to call us today at 702-242-8288. We look forward to speaking with you soon. Once again, that's Line of Fire LLC, 702-242-8288.
You have reached the 911 emergency service. All operators are busy.
Oh God, please help me. He's got a knife.
You have reached the 911 emergency service. All operators are busy. Stay on the line for the next available emergency operator. You have reached the 911 emergency service. All operators are busy. Please stay on.
911 operator, what's your emergency, please? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Last year in the United States, thousands and thousands of 911 calls went unanswered. And if you call from a cell phone, there's no way to pinpoint where you are. Yet politicians like Dianne Feinstein call for more gun control. We have one question. Why do these politicians have armed bodyguards? Can't they just call 911?
Thanks for listening to FPRN. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter. If you'd like to start your own show with FPRN, advertise with us, or donate to the network or to your favorite shows, check out our website at www.fprnradio.com.
Boom, bye-bye, Firebird fire, direct from BK, we take you higher. There's a bottle of fizz, then pop that. If there's a chop in the lift, then pop that. Non-stop in the bitch, gon' drop that. I keep topping the hits with pop that. There's a bottle of fizz, then
all right, we're back, and man, we picked some colorful music selections on FPRN Radio Network. I don't, these guys always surprise me, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, was that next commercial? It doesn't sound familiar. So, to my knowledge, it sounds like we have a caller.
Yeah, it's Lauren Faulkner from Baltimore, CopBlock.
Oh, Lauren from Baltimore. What's up? How are you?
All right, how you doing?
Good. Sounds like you've been busy down there. I've been following you a little bit.
Yeah, really busy. I'm actually, speaking of busy, came up with an idea recently. I've been talking to Janelle about it. We're trying to get together enough girls to do Ladies of CopBlock calendar of some sort. I don't know if that's exactly what we're going to call it. But so we need like 12 girls that do CopBlock and do a calendar and have it out by December for sale. So.
I think that's got some serious potential. That sounds kind of fun to me. Get all the women involved and make a cool calendar. That's awesome.
Enjoy it. So
if anybody's interested, how can they get a hold of you, Lauren? Not that we don't know how to, but share it with our listeners.
Get some more to call in and call me up or get a hold of me and let me know they're interested if there's any more ladies out there that want to do it.
Yeah. Do you have an email address or something they can get a hold of you at?
Yeah, actually, it's Baltimore@copblock.org.
That's simple. I can remember that. I'm taking my memory pills. So what? It sounds like you've been doing a lot of, videoing. You had a little interaction the other day were you at McDonald's or something?
Yeah, my mom wanted to go to McDonald's, and there was like 5-6 cop cars in the parking lot with one girl sitting on the curb, and she was obviously a bit distressed. She was, panicking a little bit. So while my mom was going through the drive-thru, I jumped out of the car and got my camera out and asked her if she was okay and everything. She had already consented to a search by the time I got there because they were in her car, searching her car, and they were getting ready to search her, and I made sure that they were sending a woman out. So I just, made sure. There wasn't really much to do on this one except for, make her, I think she felt a little bit better that there was somebody there because there were so many cops there. Because they get bored in that area, and it's right by where the precinct is. So if anything's happening, I don't know if they do this everywhere, but if the cops drive past and they see another cop pull somebody over around here, they'll just stop. So, or if they hear it on the radio and they don't have anything better to do, they'll just come out just to, have something to do. So I think that's probably what happened. But everything was all right. She ended up, leaving, and they brought a woman out. I'm pretty sure it was a drug thing. I don't know why they originally stopped her. I tried to stand back, and just let them do their thing. I asked her if she was okay, and she said yeah, and I asked them, if they were sending out a woman and all that. But that was the most recent one anyway. I run into this situation at least once or twice a week out here. By accident, not even going out looking.
Yeah, I know how it is in Maryland. They're just, they're incessant. They're like little cockroaches. They just scurry around everywhere. And, where there's one, there's, 500 of them. You're talking about them being by the precinct. They don't want to miss out on the fun. If somebody gets to beat somebody or tase somebody, they want to be there to back them up.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. I actually got the most interesting thing that's happened since I started the whole thing recently was I was leaving from one of my friends' houses, and all these cops showed up, and they were like, "What are you doing? Don't move!" And they were like, "You're standing in a crime scene." And I was like, "I'm standing in a crime scene." They're like, "Somebody got cut with a box cutter, and they're in the hospital, and they might die, and it was right here where you're standing." I'm like, well, that's great. We have to take you in as a witness. I wasn't even, they were like, they knew it happened like 20, 25 minutes ago, and I was literally just walking through. But since I was apparently in the middle of the crime scene, they had to take me in. And I was in there for a while. I mean, I could have left. I asked them immediately if I was being detained or if I was free to go or whatever, and they said, well, we could take your information down and call you later, but, you know, they gave me the big but. It'd be easier if you would blah, blah, blah. So I, you know, didn't have anything better to do. I figured just get it out of the way. I went down there and ended up sitting down there for like 4 hours. Probably wouldn't have even sat down there for that long if I hadn't have found there was a drug detective that was part of LEAP that was down there, law enforcement officers against prohibition, if you don't know what that is. So I talked to him about how he said he thinks he causes more violence with his job than he stops, and he's retiring next month. I asked him what made him want to be a cop, and he said because I was stupid. That was what started the conversation, because I was sitting outside smoking. So I wasn't being detained or anything. I was kind of allowed to wander around. And I said, what made you decide to be a cop? He was like, because I'm stupid. So I kind of sat and talked to him for a while. He's actually, when he retires, going to talk to me about some stuff, so that should be interesting. But eventually, really? I just told him, you know, look, I've been down here for 5 hours, and you know, I need to get out of here. I'm just going to leave if you need me, get a hold of me. But I gave him my card, and he told me he was going to call me in a month when he retired. And he's a drug detective in LEAP, so that should be interesting. But he didn't want to talk to me until he was, you know, out. There's another guy there that was part of LEAP, too. There was 2 of them that I met. Out of the 5, like, detectives that I met, 2 of them were in LEAP.
No, these guys were both in, like, on essentially, like, the drug task force, and they're both in LEAP?
Yeah, they were both getting out.
It's kind of funny that, you know, the people who would know what's going on with prohibition are the ones who are against it.
Mm-hmm. Well, they said they directly seen it. I mean, I sat and talked to them for hours. That's the only reason I stayed down there for so long, because I could have left. But they, you know, were telling me how much, you know, the trouble they think it starts. And, I mean, they know their stuff. But, I mean, it's, you know, like I said, one guy's retiring in a month. The other guy had just started. And I don't think he was a drug cop, actually. The second guy was a detective. He might have been a homicide detective or something. I'm not too sure. I just know he was a detective. The other one was a lieutenant in the drug area.
Yeah,
so
those guys, they can't, you know, they won't speak out now because they don't want to ruin that, you know, nice cushy pension they have that they're going to collect for the rest of their lives. It's pathetic.
Yeah, exactly.
They have a family to support. Don't forget that.
Yeah. Well, that's what he kept saying. Well, I'm just, you know, if he actually comes out and, you know, he's like, wait till you hear some of the stories I have to tell you. He's like, well, get out and tell me. You know, I'll cover them. He said the news wouldn't do it. He's like, there's no way the news would cover any of this stuff. They cover everything up as it is down there. Even talking about how the murder rate's manipulated. I mean, we all know that the murder rate's manipulated. I have a friend that her sister was hog-tied to a bed in an abandoned house and set on fire alive. Obviously a murder. And they considered it an accident. And when they took her and her mother back to the police station to tell them about it, they said, we're going to consider this an accident because people like her are better off the street. And at least you know where she is and she's not in pain anymore and all this stuff because she was a prostitute. So
Which is an honest living, you know, as compared to a cop.
Right? I mean,
you know?
Just, you know, exchanging services for goods. I mean, you know, there's nothing wrong with what she was doing. But they didn't put it in the murder rate. So, I mean, our murder rate's astronomical as it is. And think about how many of the people around here that get killed are drug addicts or prostitutes or whatever, so they just don't count them. You know? That freaks me out. That's how high the murder rate actually is. Pretty dangerous around here. I try not to do too much by myself. I know people worry about me down here, but I think since I take a nice, I'm really standoffish and nice in my approach. I don't get up in their faces and yell at them and, you know, call them pigs or anything. I tell them I'm recording for everyone's safety and give them all a CopBlock card, and, you know, I try to be as nice as I can about it so that I don't end up smeared across the street somewhere.
Yeah, I don't
so
have
far
time for
it's been
that.
all right. I mean, I know I'm going to run into the dickhead somewhere because one of them already kicked my ass once. So I mean, I know eventually I'm going to run into one that's not going to be happy about it.
Yeah, I had in my other life, I had a little interaction with an off duty the one day, and I was in Maryland, and the guy sat down, and I can't remember what the context was, but I made some snide comment because that's my personality about typical police or typical cop or something like that, and the guy kind of like looked over at me, and the guy sitting beside him goes, "Well, he's a cop." And I just I looked him both in the eyes, and I just shrugged my shoulders like, "You guys know I'm right." I didn't say anything, but I was like, "You guys know I'm right." So you've been doing a lot of, have you been doing out some flyers, and sounds like you've been giving a lot of business cards. What kind of, response are you getting from people? Are you getting people to, that are interested, or people that are just kind of like, "I'll check it out"?
Well, I did a lot of, I have a decent amount of support for being as early on as I am right now. It's gotten people interested. I have people that help me out with things that I need help, but I get a lot of people who end up getting a hold of me later on because something happens to them. Like, because it's so infrequent here. Like, I'll go talk to people, I'll give out flyers and whatnot, and then I'll get a message on my Facebook a week or two later. "Hey, the cops pulled me up, and this and this and this happened." And, if they have video, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I still have to I don't have a computer right now. I'm working on getting that whole situation straight. But I have videos I have to eventually put up. But I get a good response from it because where I'm at, nobody likes the cops anyway. So I really don't have much of a bad response, really. I haven't encountered too many people who have been like, "Oh, that's not cool. You shouldn't do that." Everybody's been awesome and wants to know more about it. I mean, and now the other thing is the people who I have gotten negative response from have been the more like white bread people, further towards the county. But in the city, everybody's completely down for it and interested. And there's been vigils for people who have been killed by the cops. There's actually there's a group called Baltimore, I think it's Baltimore Families of victims of police brutality, something along those lines. It's already a group down here that's been doing a lot recently because we've had 2 police murders this year. Well, we've had more than that, but there's 2 that the families are really, involved. And they've been doing vigils around town. They did they built a park in the abandoned lot where one of the guy, Anthony Anderson. It might have been Tyrone West where he got killed, but those are the 2 guys, Anthony Anderson and Tyrone West. One of them got killed in an abandoned lot downtown, and they went and built a park there last week, and I couldn't get down there, but one of my guys went down there and made some connections and stuff with the people down there, with the families of the victims and whatnot. So there's been a lot of networking going on, too, because there's already a lot of groups for things like that around here.
Yeah, it's kind of sad that, as we're talking, I'm sitting here thinking, because, I know a lot of people in Maryland, and I couldn't tell you how many people were killed by police this year, but I could tell you that, even, if you watch on Facebook, like there's always this huge outpouring for people or for police officers who die in the line of duty, and how, they're all heroes, and they're, every time one dies, like he's the greatest person, like he's Elvis, like he's a rock star and he's everything. But, you kind of, it makes me wonder, well, what were the circumstances? And I'm not, advocating for violence against anybody.
Mm-hmm. No, I feel you.
But it's
there's
like,
one that just happened.
There's always this huge outpouring, but that's what I've seen. I didn't hear about these other 2 people down there being killed.
I mean, they shut down half the city to have a parade for the cop the same day that they were down there building the park. And there was like, 30 people, not including the family or something like that, to build the park for the guy that got killed, and then a cop gets killed the same day, and they shut down half the city. That was kind of it was right in our face that day, how different it was, how differently they get treated. I don't know the circumstances around this guy's death. I know it was in the line.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. I'm not saying one way or another. I'm not saying anything about him as a person. I'm just saying, in general, it's they're like superheroes. They're thought of as like demigods, basically. and whenever one of them dies, every single person, and it really shows exactly what we are up against whenever something like that happens. It shows how many of them there actually are and how close they really are. And it's, I think it's cool that, they support each other, but I don't think it's cool the way they do it and the way they cover shit up for each other, and the fact that I have to pay for something that I don't agree with.
Yeah. I mean, the parade was quite a display. I mean, they couldn't even get around town that day. And it was why it was, one guy got killed in the line of duty. I mean, can't they even, I know if you even hurt a cop dog or kill a cop dog, they consider it like it's different charges, almost like it's a person. Like they even extend the rights of a police officer to the dog. I know people have gotten charged with assault on a police officer because of, they fought with the dog when the dog came after. I don't even know how that works, but it does.
Yeah, I'm in Pennsylvania, and I know there was a case that we talked about, and it was
and nothing more has higher standing than people. There's a problem.
Yeah, there was a young man that was shot. He was in his 20s, and he made some poor decisions, and he ended up losing his life. And he shot a police dog, and the police dog get the whatever it is, the medevac or whatever it's called. They get the helicopter, and the helicopter takes the dog and stuff like that. And there's this huge outpouring, but nobody talks about the circumstances of what happened, and nobody cares about the fact that a young person lost their life. Nobody cares about that. All they care about is this fucking dog. It's like, that's a dog. It's property. I'm a dog owner. I love dogs, but it's not a person. It's a dog. Mm-hmm. It has 4 legs and no thumbs.
And everybody makes mistakes in life. That shouldn't determine how much respect you get if something tragic happens to you. I mean, I've been through some stuff. If I'd have gotten killed by a cop not that long ago, I probably would have ended up in that file in the police department that they consider accidents too. Maybe that's why I take it so personally when that happens. I don't know. It's disturbing around here how often things like this happen.
Yeah, now I know one thing, like Maryland's huge on these traffic cameras, and they have how many traffic cameras? They're everywhere, it seems like.
They're on almost damn near every light in the area where I live, right here. The speed light cameras, the red light cameras. I mean, they have speed cameras too. They have speed cameras. They have the red light cameras, and they're illegal if you go to. They've been ruled illegal. If you go to court with the ticket, they'll throw it out because there's no witness. But most people don't feel like going to court or can't take off work to go to court or whatever, and they just pay the ticket. And we calculated one day. We sat and tried to calculate how many people. I think it was while we were sitting at the red light, 8 people got a ticket between the 4 different directions during one cycle. And we were trying to determine how much money they got out of each red light and how long the red lights took and stuff. I don't remember what we came up with, but it was astronomical how much money they were getting. And they even changed the duration of the yellow light so it's shorter, so that there's a better chance of you getting a ticket.
Yeah, I know that like down in Maryland, they have these things they call Maryland safe zones, and basically what it is, it's a lot of times it's a white Jeep Liberty that sits in a work zone where they're doing traffic construction activities or whatever. And they have these little white Jeep Liberties that sit there, and they're all like, it's a $40 ticket. And I know a lot of people down there who have gotten them. And one of the issues was that cops were not required to pay them, and they would, if a cop was speeding through there, they would turn their lights on or whatever it was, and it was ridiculous that everybody's getting these $40 tickets.
I've physically seen myself 2 different cops go through the red light cameras and turn their lights on and get tickets. I'm sure they didn't get them.
Yeah, I saw a cop the other day, and whenever I was at work, and he
turned the light on and go right through one of the ones with the camera.
Yeah, I saw a guy turn his lights on because he was sitting like across from me at the intersection and at the red light. He turned his lights on, drove through the traffic light, and drove about 150 yards down the road and got to another traffic light and just turned his lights off and just sat there behind the next car. He just got tired of waiting, apparently.
Yep. And they do it through the ones with the camera. I've seen it. Because you can see the flash when it goes off. I'm sure that they didn't pay this ticket. I mean, I'd like them. Since my scooter doesn't have tags on it, I don't get those. So, I found my way around the red light cameras because they can take a picture of the back of my scooter and the back of my CopBlock hoodie all they want to.
That's actually pretty cool.
Exactly. They can't send a ticket to I don't have a license plate, so just go on and do it with that.
So, Lauren, you got anything else going on down there? We're getting ready to come up to a break here. We want to make sure we get all your info out there so people can get a hold of you.
Just mention the calendar again. That's
cool.
The big thing is the calendar. I need girl cop bloggers. Contact me, and we're gonna hope to have it out so that everybody can have them for stocking stuffers. And we're probably gonna do crowdfunding too. I'll let you guys know. Maybe come back on when I figure it out in the next month. But I got about a month to brainstorm and figure everything out. So. Any ladies out there and you don't have to be like a fancy supermodel or anything. We just want ladies who are out there doing it to show other girls that, they can do it too. That's really the main objective.
Sounds good. Yeah, and I know that, if you send us an email, we'll post something up or send us some messages on Facebook. We'll post it on the CopBlock Radio Show Facebook page so that it gets out to even more people. Sound good?
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for calling in, Lauren.
Yep.
We really appreciate it.
All right, guys.
Yep, keep up the good work. You rock. See.
You got a good giggle out of her at the end there.
Yeah, I'll tell you, man. She is on it. She is just nonstop. Lauren is really, really full of energy, and man, she doesn't stop it. She lives it. She does it, man. It's in her bones.
Yeah, she does a great job. I've seen some of the stuff they've done. Their Facebook page, yeah, they're doing a great job over there.
Yeah, she was. I know she was up at. She called in before, and she was up at PorcFest this year, and was I think that she did some speaking also.
Yeah, I think that was like right when she had started it, basically.
Yeah, she pretty much had nothing going on, and sounds like she's got some really good feedback going on down there. And Maryland sucks. I don't know why people live there. I'm serious. Maryland sucks.
Yeah. Well, I finally got to show my wife how every time I go out with my CopBlock shirt on, the way the police look at you when they see your shirt.
Yeah.
Have you experienced that yet?
Yeah. So this was one of the first interactions that I had. I went to, it was like a festival of fair. It was like a county fair type thing. And I wore my, Who Owns You shirt, CopBlock logo on the back. Mm-hmm. And there was actually a guy there who was familiar with it. I'm walking around and I'm, by myself. I just went up and I took business cards with me and I was just walking around and, just seeing, what kind of interaction I could get. So, I got this guy yell at me from across the aisleway or whatever. And, he's like, "Hey man, come over here." And he actually happened to be at, it was like some sort of I think it was called Hempzels, and it was hemp pretzels. And also, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. He's out of Lancaster County, and he was helping this guy out, promoting, legalization of, hemp growth. Mm-hmm. And he goes, "Hey man, what's up? I love your shirt." And at first I was just startled by it because that's never the reaction. I always get the dirty look. So whenever I wear my, one of my CopBlocks, I always smile. And I'm just a friendly person. I say hi to people. I don't even know just because they're kind of giving me a weird look. "Hey, how's it going?" That's just how I am. And, he was really cool about it. And that was the first interaction. But about, 2 or 3 minutes later, these two Pennsylvania state troopers came walking past while I'm talking to him at this Hempzels stand. I'm talking to him and these two walk by, give me a dirty look. And I'm, hey, doesn't bother me. Well, then about 10 minutes later, whenever I was walking, I had a guy come up and say, "Hey, do you mind if I take a picture of the back of your shirt?" And, he kind of startled me. I wasn't ready for it. And, I said, "Sure." And "Oh, this is what it is." I talked a little bit about Copblock.org, and I said, "You want a business card?" He's like, "Sure." And, it was a very quick interaction, but, whenever he walked away, I kind of figured out the fact that he was a cop and he didn't really like my shirt. So, fuck him, whatever. So it sounds like we're getting ready to go to break here. Stick with us. We have more coming from the CopBlock Radio Show.
Mr. President, members of Congress, you've been making a lot of noise about taking our guns away. But you might want to review history. 1835, Gonzales, Texas Territory. The authorities wanted to confiscate the big gun that protected that colony. You know what the people said? Come and take it. Because they were willing to fight for their freedom and their guns. So are we.
Come and take it if you want it. Come and take it if you think you can. Come and take it, but I warn you, you'll have to pry it from my cold dead hands. We want the freedom that God gave us, so you best not cross that line. If you want this gun, you gotta come through us and take it.
One shot at a time. Just like Gonzales, we're keeping our guns.
Hello, fellow patriots. This is Joseph Nazari, Director of Training Operations with Line of Fire, LLC, Professional Firearms Training Group, located in Las Vegas, Nevada. The fact that you're listening to this show is evidence to me that you are a true patriot and you do value your freedoms. As all patriots know, with freedom comes responsibility, and if you own a firearm, training should be an integral part of your personal defense profile. If you're considering quality firearms training, Line of Fire LLC should be your first choice. We teach all types of firearms training for all types of individuals, from the novice to the most advanced shooters. At Line of Fire LLC, we have a course for you. Please feel free to call us today at 702-242-8288. We look forward to speaking with you soon. Once again, that's Line of Fire LLC, 702-242-8288.
In every age, a technology is created that upends the foundations of society. The wheel, the printing press, the internet. Now, in a world sliding into financial chaos, a new technology is changing the way monetary systems work around the world. It is called Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a new form of money, controlled not by banks, governments, or corporations, but through mutual commerce between free individuals. To learn more, visit WeUseCoins.com.
Talk about a wake-up call. I was paying for all the doctor's visits, insurance premiums, and medical costs out of pocket. All these expenses were keeping me from living the carefree lifestyle that I wanted. Then the government told me about Obamacare. Now with Obamacare, I don't worry about my health care. I eat whatever I want, whenever I want. I get all my prescription drugs for free, and there's no more coverage gap. I no longer need to worry about pre-existing conditions. We can see any doctor whenever we want for any reason, and so can everyone else.
Obamacare is not for everyone, like Congressman. If you are already healthy, do not use Obamacare, as you will see your premiums go up. If you are a sick person, do not use Obamacare, as you will see your premiums go up. Many people on Obamacare may experience longer wait times and fewer doctors, and denial of your treatment of choice. If you are faced with a healthcare situation, you may be denied treatment through government rationing.
Obamacare even covers my kids up to age 26.
If you experience a recession lasting more than 4 years, stop taking Obamacare and contact a travel agent to move to the Bahamas or New Zealand.
And the best thing is that Obamacare is free.
Obamacare is not free. Obamacare will increase the national debt by $863 billion in 10 years. Your taxes will go up $569 billion by 2019. If you see a major jump in your premiums, you should opt out of Obamacare immediately. Opting out of Obamacare is illegal and will incur major fines and penalties unless you are a union member who received a special waiver from the Obama administration. Obama is not responsible for the negative effects on the economy, your pocketbook, your freedoms, or your health.
Obama solved all my problems.
Obamacare. Live your carefree lifestyle.
Nothing is more American than Diamond Gusset jeans. 100% American made since 1987. Soft and broken in from the start, yet more rugged and durable than any jean you've ever worn. Have you ever experienced missized jeans from China? Well, you won't with Diamond Gusset. Every pair is crafted to fit exactly the same and always feel like they were custom made. Need a 35, 37, or 39 waist? How about a 31 inseam? We keep all sizes in stock for the fit you need. Looking for a relaxed fit, slim fit, regular fit, boot cut, or straight leg? We got you covered. Buy the world's best fitting jeans at Gusset.com or call 1-888-8GUSSET. Get free Gusset targets for the next time you go to the shooting range with the purchase of their new Ranger jean. Use code COMFORT when ordering to receive free shipping on all Gusset orders at Gusset.com. That's Gusset.com to get only the best all-American jeans.
Thanks for listening to FPRN. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter. If you'd like to start your own show with FPRN, advertise with us, or donate to the network or to your favorite shows, check out our website at www.fprnradio.com.
Somebody get me a goddamn lighter that wasn't made in China. Jeez. Yes, Katie.
Mr. President?
What is it?
Mr. Emmanuel Weinhaus.
Put him through. Hey, Rambo.
Barry.
Good morning.
I just got off the phone with David. He said he faxed you a copy of your next speech.
Lovely.
Katie should have it.
Okay.
Briefly.
Absolutely.
Try to get it right this time.
Will do, Ram.
Okay, I'll talk to you.
Thank you. Every day, one less person thinks I'm crazy. They're waking up to see the light. I wanna say I'm not happy about it, baby. I'm so
okay, we're back. We are live with This is the CopBlock Radio Show. And I am just completely dumbfounded by what I don't even know what those guys are, what our producers are doing tonight. They're just, fucking with us. So if you want to call in live, I'm trying to do a better job, even though Eric's not here to call me out. The call-in number is 567-314-9296. Hit the 1234, followed by the pound sign, and it'll get you in the queue. And if you want to Skype in, which is always our preferred method, it's at FPRN Radio Live. Add us, and then we'll add you. Are you still laughing about their selection of music over there?
I seriously thought it was a commercial.
Yeah, I was debating. It could have been. You know what? We run this show. No offense to the producers.
We got to give a shout out to our sponsors. One for Diamond Gusset jeans, All American Made jeans. They are our main sponsor for the show. So you guys got to check them out at Gusset.com. They have all the in-between sizes, as Eric always makes fun of me every week about the fact that I wear an in-between size. So
yeah, I know the feeling, man. I'm like getting there, and I'm like trying to convince myself that I'm not one of those in-between sizes. So I kind of go back and forth between pants that are too loose and pants that are too tight. But I think I'm just going to have to accept that, it's just the way life is. It's depressing.
Yep. So we were talking about getting funny looks from police or other individuals when wearing our shirts. But yeah, like I was saying in the beginning, my wife finally got to see it this last weekend. We went down to Pig Out at the Park. It was just a big food event here in Spokane. Awesome, tons of food vendors, free concerts and everything. So I went down there with my shirt, my camera, and some flyers. And basically, I explained to my wife that every time I walk past a cop, whether or not I interact with them or not, once they see the shirt, they tend to follow me and or glare at me horribly.
I've been called worse by better. They hate that.
Yeah, so she finally got to see. I've always told her that every time I wear the shirt out, any officer that sees me wearing the shirt just glares. And she finally got to see it this weekend. She was like, "Oh my God, you're serious? They just mean mug you." I was like, "I told you." But speaking of that, I mean, we've had some individuals with now the new shiny badges going out and wearing those, and I know Dio just recently got a bunch of crap from an officer for wearing one on his hat. He's got some video up on the Greater Cleveland CopBlock page. I watched that last night. He sent it to me. And he got utterly harassed for wearing his badge.
Really? I'm sorry. Man, I got to go check that out. Well, you said it was on the Greater Cleveland one.
Yeah, it's on the Greater Cleveland CopBlock Facebook page. It's on their YouTube page. Some good video. He was out trying to CopBlock a checkpoint and holding a sign, had his badge. He was out taking pictures and whatnot, and yeah, he had an officer come up and start harassing him. They claimed about 7 different reasons for their excuse for stopping him, coming up to harass him and demanding to identify himself. So it was good stuff.
Did he get thrown in a cage or what? I mean,
no, he actually didn't. They ended up finally leaving, but they didn't leave very far. Basically, they just kind of drove up the street and sat there and watched him.
Oh, Dio! I'm trying to get Dio to call in because now I'm going to take a slight break and just go watch the video because Dio won't call in.
Dio, call us right now. We'll hear your live story version of it.
Yeah, he's not afraid to record the police, but he is afraid to be on the live show. We'll take his video and post it up too whenever we get done with the show tonight. We're trying to do a real good job and keep good notes tonight, but we'll definitely add that so we can get help him to promote. One thing that I've noticed is that there is so many more. Like, it just seems like the number of CopBlock chapters that are popping up is they're catching momentum. Have you noticed that?
I have. Pete did an update today for the groups page on the Copblock.org website. Added a whole bunch of new groups today. So, I mean, it's spreading like a wildfire.
Goddamn right!
Thanks, Farba. Eat this, take a bite of the soap, make him look like a dick. So one thing, we were talking about about the CopBlock store, or about the CopBlock shirts. It's going to be hoodie weather. It's soon time for me to buy a new CopBlock hoodie because I'm a freak when it comes to hoodies. But I just found a couple more stickers that I had gotten from the guys. So make sure you go to copblock.org/store and check out. That's where you can get your badges, stickers. They have the business cards that I'm always talking about. I'm really big on the business cards. It's a really easy and subtle way to help spread the message. So what I've done, and I've sent pictures to people and stuff like that. All around your community, you don't have to be that vocal activist. You can be, kind of the more reserved, player in the game and still make a difference. So one thing that whenever I started, I would take CopBlock.org's business cards. You can get 100 of them. It's $8. Take those, and I would go to, my local 7-Eleven or Wawa or the grocery store, and they always have these little community boards. And I would do it at gun shops too, and I would justify how much it irritated a cop that they would walk in there to buy ammo and they'd have to look at the business card there. But I would just take them and put them up on the poster board, and I would put it 3 of them there, and I would remember how many there were and when I put them there. So whenever I would go back, I would see how many there were. And, if 1 or 2 of them was gone, I would assume that was because it was, a person of, I want to say a person that was interested, not a person of interest. But, somebody who was actually interested in it. And I always figured if it was at the gun store that, if all 3 of them were gone, it was 1 cop that took all 3 of them and trashed them. But, he still got the message that we're out there and we're recording them, and, it's time that we're all held accountable for our actions.
I'd have to agree with you on that. I've done that multiple times with the business cards. I put some up over in the Fred Meyer in Seattle last time I was over there, because they have the big bulletin boards in the Fred Meyers. Done that, and then I've actually was shocked to find I have some friends that work in the counseling department, mental health therapists, and gave them some cards to put in their offices. And I've actually had requests for more because they said they went through 50 of them in a matter of days.
That's awesome, man.
So
I was at a counseling office.
Yeah, your local mental health center.
People who are constantly abused by, misunderstood. America is the only place where we're having a mental a mental disorder is considered a criminal action.
Mm-hmm. So,
You know,
and
instead
then
of treating
technically,
them-
those are people that there are a lot of mental health counselors end up seeing people that have been assaulted or mistreated by police, or had some sort of rough interaction where they've had to deal with police. So it seems to be a very ideal spot to put cards and to spread the message of CopBlock Police Accountability Act. I think I need to get some more cards myself. I'm out. I got to get more and post them up there.
Yeah, sorry, I was, it sounded like you're having a little bit of issues with your mic there. Anyway, moving on. I wanted to, if you want to get back into some articles, I have a bunch here. There's one that I really want to talk about, and this is one that I really tried to follow, and it started out in, let me see here, it started out September 11th, 2012. And some of you guys might be familiar with a man named Jeffrey Weinhaus. So Jeffrey Weinhaus was from the Central Missouri. He was a cop blocker from Central Missouri. And what had happened was there was an interaction between him and two Missouri State Highway Patrol troopers, I guess they would be, where he ended up being shot several times. And he ended up in the hospital, and he lived after suffering from several gunshot wounds. If you go to copblock.org / just type in Jeffrey Weinhaus, it's Weinhaus. I'm sorry, Einhaus. He's definitely not German. But if you just go there and check out Jeffrey Weinhaus, it talks about his story, and he was very outspoken. And in a way that you could see that he really cared about this country and cared about the direction that it was heading in. And it sounded like what had happened was the troop, or these troopers, were leading him on, or leading him to believe that he was going there to accept back some of his property that they had stolen, even though they had a piece of paper that said they could take it. They stole his property, and he was going to recover it. And he met these troopers, and he was open carrying a firearm lawfully in Missouri. So he ended up being, like I said, shot, was put in the hospital. Well, a couple of days after he was placed in the hospital, there was an audio recording that came out, and I'm not sure who the woman was or what the relationship was to him, but it was an audio recording of the entire incident, and the cops tried to claim that he was either, assaulting them or being aggressive towards them. And he kind of, he's a little bit of a smartass, but he was not aggressive. The only aggressors in this situation were the two officers. And the update came out today on CopBlock's website, and Jeffrey's going to have after he got out of the hospital, and they want to throw him in a cage. So they want to have his pretrial, which is going to be on September 12th. And then they're going to have a 3-day jury trial beginning October 8th. So this is in Franklin County, Missouri. And one of the things that they've done is they have forbade anyone from taking recording devices or cell phones into the courtroom. So there's no way to save that information and get it out to other people, so that we can, have an impartial recreation. So what they really want to do is they want to have as many people as possible go to the courthouse and take notes. If we could fly Garrett Ean from Keene down there, I actually think that would be our best opportunity. And I think that we should get a GoFundMe or a Kickstarter for shipping. I'm sorry, not shipping, for flying Garrett from Keene down to Missouri. And I'm sure some of the good folks down there would help put him up, because that guy's a beast when it comes to taking notes. And I'm kind of curious, they don't have that, and I don't know what the legal aspect of court reporters are, like the stenographer, and I'm not sure how quickly those are made available to the public, but I know it's not going to be right away. So check out Jeffrey Weinhaus. It's just, this is really big. This is a guy who was very outspoken, but the things he was saying wasn't wrong, and then it sucks whenever you're trying to do the right thing and you've become a victim of the state, and it nearly cost this man his life. So if anybody knows anyone in Missouri or can help out, please. There's another email here. It's bmillerjr@emissourian.com, and you want to email this person. This is something you can do from wherever you live. Email this B Miller Jr. and tell him that you think that it should be permissible. Just shoot him an email. It can't hurt to ask. And that's one of the things that they talk about is being active at a distance. So if you can, please help him out. Jeffrey Weinhaus is a huge, huge asset to CopBlock and to trying to bring, some transparency and accountability to the police state that we're in.
Nice. Now, I know we got Dio's on the line. So real quick, though, before we take him, Kelly asked in the chat if the video from his watch that they mentioned is actually available somewhere.
I'm sorry, what was it? The what?
The video? He's saying there's a video from his watch.
Really?
Mm-hmm. That's what Kelly's saying.
That's like some serious James Bond shit there.
I know. I don't know anything about that, but I know we should probably get Dio on here. I don't mean to make him wait any longer.
I'm not sure about that one. You would have to, I don't know, try to get a hold of Pete on CopBlock. It sounds like he's like the main point of contact, but I personally have not seen anything come out. So, Dio, did we convince you, or did we hurt your feelings enough that you're going to call in and yell at us, brother?
No, you're good. You're
awesome.
Good.
Thanks for calling in, dude. You rock.
Multitasking, and that's not good. I can't handle doing 100 things at once, so,
Tell me about it.
I'm trying to write the chat, and you're telling me to call in, and I'm trying to write the chat, and you're telling me to call in, and I'm trying to write the chat.
We don't have to write in the chat if you call in. Easy as that.
Yeah, well, I got to find the goddamn Skype on the phone and all that,
So, well, you found us. Awesome. And the quality is really good. So we appreciate that.
Yeah. We went to a food truck event in Fair Lawn, Ohio. It's down near Akron. And they just, I took a picture of the two cops standing there, the one bald cop and the other cop. And then I saw the bald cop give me a funny look. So I said, okay, fuck this. I'm going to start videotaping. And then I started videotaping, and then he went over to that tall cop with the sunglasses on and said, well, this guy just was videotaping all of us and everything and blah, 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 blah. So I heard that, and I said, okay, fuck this. I went over to the captain or whoever the hell he was, and I said, look, I heard this guy talking shit over here, so, I just want to – this is my name. This is what I do. I tried to shake his hand like 3 times. He refused to shake my fucking hand. I go, this is my name. This is what I'm doing. I'm just taking pictures. I'm documenting you guys' presence here at the event. That's all. So, if your officer has any concerns or anything like that, you can alleviate that right now by telling him that, And then next thing I know, I got surrounded, and then the real blatant attempts to that guy, he walked past me real quick, and I saw him coming out of the corner of my eye, and I just continued to film. And he just tried to walk by so fast just to see what the badge was and whatnot. And then I was like, okay, here it comes. So I just went and sat down, and next thing I know, here comes this prick, and, the rest is history. And all because they were concerned about the badge and because I was taking pictures. In this day and age, people just taking pictures of what, a fucking food truck event? I mean, that's what you have it for, isn't it?
Right, that's free advertising. Whenever you post pictures on the internet, that's free advertising for, well, everybody.
And then the other one, we went out to the checkpoint and whatnot, and I think we shut it down a little early. I don't know about how long, but I think it got shut down a little early because they weren't getting anybody. Wasn't nobody coming that way, and that one guy was decent enough, but, you know, the other guy wanted to be a prick, so now everybody got to see him be a prick.
Now I'm not familiar with the laws where you are, Dio, but I know obviously you did identify yourself to the officer. Now, is that legally required there or not?
Here's the deal, okay? It's a gray area as far as I'm concerned, and I don't fucking want to go to jail anymore, so I'm not trying to, you know, I mean, fuck you. This is my name, and this is what I do, so get fucking used to it, you know? I'm not trying to hide anything from these people anymore. I'm tired of trying to hide from these scumbags. You know, they're the ones who should be trying to hide from me as far as I'm concerned, you know? I just...
No, I don't like have a problem with the fact that you identified yourself. I mean, that's fine. If it calms the situation, all the better. But I'm just unfamiliar with if that's actually legally required there or not.
From what I understand, from what I've been told by Parma police and other police officers, you know, what the hell do they know, you know? But I actually have the law. If you hold on a second, I can get the law and pull it up and read it to you verbatim what it says. Okay? It says, it is Ohio Revised Code 2921-29. Failure to disclose personal information. A. No person who is in a public space shall refuse to disclose the person's name, address, or date of birth when requested by law enforcement officer who reasonably suspects either of the following. The person is committing or has committed or is about to commit a criminal offense. The person witnessed any of the following. An offense of violence that would constitute a felony under the laws of this state. A felony offense that causes or results in or creates a substantial risk of serious physical harm to another person or to property. Any attempt or conspiracy to commit or complicity in committing any offense identified in Division A, 2A, or B of this section. Hold on, there's another part that I got to find here real quick. They're supposed to be together. Okay, Part D, any conduct reasonably indicating that an offense identified in Division A, 2A, or B of this section, or any attempt, conspiracy, or complicity described in Division A, 2C of this section, has been, is being, or is about to be committed. Whoever violates this section is guilty of failure to disclose one's personal information, a misdemeanor of the 4th degree. Nothing in this section requires a person to answer any questions beyond that. Person's name, address, or date of birth. And that's a big or, because it can be your address or your date of birth. Nothing in this section authorizes a law enforcement officer to arrest a person for not providing any information beyond that person's name, address, or date of birth for refusing to describe the offense observed. It is not a violation of this section to refuse to answer a question that would reveal a person's age or date of birth if age is an element of the crime that the person is suspected of being committed. So in other words, like that last section there says that if say a cop wants to screw with a kid who's supposedly, you know, out past curfew or something like that, if the kid gives his name and date of birth, he's going to incriminate himself as being out after curfew and being a minor. So he doesn't have to give his date of birth in that case, but I'm sure he has to give his address. So, I mean, like I said, when it comes to, there's two different, there's reasonable suspicion and there's probable cause. So if you've got reasonable suspicion, which is basically that guy looks funny, you can get that person to give you his name and or date of birth and address. If the person has committed any of the following offenses or whatnot, then you would need to be able to identify him further, I guess, is what it seems to be to me.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
like
I think that you kind of, started off that, you're tired of going to jail.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all there is to it. And, as much as you don't want to comply, I think that a lot of people who have been to jail a lot of times, look at a demo.
It's just
I don't want to be active.
For me to say, this is my name and this is what I do. Screw you.
Right.
And I think you actually get more you get them more open to you that way, I think, Like, because they want to try to prove you wrong at that point. So, you know.
I would agree that it does definitely calm the situation if you finally do give them something, because obviously they want it, and they will harass you until they get it or arrest you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they use that tactic to try to get more and more out of you, because you cooperated there. They're going to just keep pressuring to give you more, to give more information, and that's the part I hate.
Listen to how, if you watch that video in Fairlawn, you can see how many times that little short guy, he was trying to be polite. Oh, you sure you don't want to give me your ID? Yeah, I'm fucking positive. Get the fuck out of here.
Hey man, we're gonna go to break. If you want to hang out and stick with us for a couple minutes, we'll be back in a couple minutes with the Copblock Radio Show.
Tired of living in a violent society? If every citizen was armed, no one would be dumb enough to shoot people. It's exactly the ethos our founding fathers had when they wrote the Constitution and then changed it, which is what makes it sacred now. Come mingle with safety-minded people like you at the Liberty City Gun Club. Our nation is still the world leader in one thing: armaments. Nothing says excitement like a night out with a small caliber semi-automatic weapon. Get social at the Liberty City Gun Club.
Well, yeah, it's getting tough out there. Yeah, no doubt. I work in home invasions, mostly. Some murder, occasional rape, if she's hot, or really bitchy. And I'm a huge advocate of gun control, absolutely. Every time I kick in a door or smash a window, I face the possibility of being shot and killed. Allowing citizens to own guns creates a hostile work environment for me and my associates. No one should have to work under those conditions. I say make them all illegal, absolutely. I mean, I break the law for a living. I'm a professional, so it doesn't really bother me. No doubt. No doubt.
Your local violent criminals work hard and put their lives on the line every time they attempt to murder, rape, abduct, or assault a member of the citizenry. They desperately need your help. With your support, there may finally come a day when a violent criminal can have his way with you or someone you love without the fear, anxiety, and stress caused by knowing there's a possibility his victim might be armed. Please show your support by voting for stronger anti-gun legislation, because criminals prefer unarmed citizens.
Nothing is more American than Diamond Gusset jeans. 100% American made since 1987. Soft and broken in from the start, yet more rugged and durable than any jean you've ever worn. Have you ever experienced missized jeans from China? Well, you won't with Diamond Gusset. Every pair is crafted to fit exactly the same and always feel like they were custom made. Need a 35, 37, or 39 waist? How about a 31 inseam? We keep all sizes in stock for the fit you need. Looking for a relaxed fit, slim fit, regular fit, boot cut, or straight leg? We got you covered. Buy the world's best fitting jeans at Gusset.com or call 1-888-8GUSSET. Get free Gusset targets for the next time you go to the shooting range with the purchase of their new Ranger jean. Use code COMFORT when ordering to receive free shipping on all Gusset orders at Gusset.com. That's Gusset.com to get only the best all-American jeans.
Do you have a group or organization founded on the principles of personal liberty, health freedom, or accountable government? We invite you to check out Same Side Entertainment. Same Side is a source for activists and liberty organizations to connect with well-known leaders in today's growing movement for sustainable living, personal liberty, and sovereignty issues. Same Side has a variety of keynote speakers, debate panels, interactive web presentations, musicians, and liberty-based entertainment, as well as services for web design, graphic design, video, and photography. Same Side can help customize your event by connecting you to the best of the liberty and political world while staying within your budget. Get connected with leaders in the liberty movement like Tom Woods, Kevin Gutzman, Jack Hunter, Robert Scott Bell, Bob Murphy, Michael Scheuer, John Bush, Jordan Page, Tatiana Moroz, and many more. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and our website at www.samesideentertainment.com. Again, that's www.samesideentertainment.com. Same Side Entertainment, connecting you with the education and resources you need.
think something so small could control you.
And everything you do.
When your life and all you love are on the line. The RFID chip is always with you, threatening your privacy, causing severe risk to your health and personal safety, and killing you if you do not obey rogue government demands.
Because I want to increase my risk of cancer.
Because I want to live in a cash-free society.
Because now the government is looking out for us.
Because I have the mark of the beast, but it doesn't have me.
Ask your doctor how to get your chip implanted today.
Because we want to track your every move.
Thanks for listening to FPRN. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter. If you'd like to start your own show with FPRN, advertise with us, or donate to the network or to your favorite shows, check out our website at www.fprnradio.com.
Me to do, just stand on by, waiting to hear the truth. I've only heard the lies. Gasoline and high inflation burning up work. Time to teach the Constitution to every boy and girl. Get back to the Constitution. Revolution, we just want to save the nation. Revolution. Revolution, wake up and start to pay attention. 'Cause we've got the solution. The Ron Paul Revolution. The Ron Paul Revolution.
All right, we're back. I guess that's enough. I love Tatiana Moroz. She kicks butt, man. We're just gonna keep. I mean, we keep going. I don't care. I got a bad attitude, Mister. So, Dio, is Dio still with us?
Yeah, I was getting into it.
Yeah, man, it's Tatiana Rose, man. You can't get enough of that. Her, and we need to play some more Rebel Inc.
Right on. Ask them if I can use their music in my videos.
You're on your own on that one. Sorry. You got to talk to our producers and kiss their butts.
Okay.
Apparently the best idea would be to show up at one of their shows, man. And those guys, Rebel Inc. is touring all the time. I just saw they posted even more dates a couple days ago. So go check them out, man. They're all over the place.
I know they're supportive. So
yeah, the first time I saw Rebel Inc. was down at I was down in DC. And it was at the disinauguration ball with Kokesh, and man, they were like, we got there early, and it was a pretty small venue, and they came out, and they're carrying their stuff in. They said, "Hey, how's it going?" Blah 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 blah. Just super cool guys, very down to earth.
Right on.
Yeah, man. So anyway, what were we talking about before we were interrupted by our producers?
Well, with the badges and whatnot, and the extra attention that they garner, and another little story that I had was I went to my first town council meeting yesterday in Parma, and I went there emblazoned badge right on my chest, and you should have seen the entire council was like looking and pointing and trying to whisper and be like, "Who's this guy? What's up with the badge? What's up with that?" I had several councilmen come up and ask me afterwards, "What's that? What's that?" So it was pretty interesting.
Did you tell me it was your invitation to the boys club or no? I was. I'm in the boys club, guys. I forgot the handshake.
Yeah, no, yeah. I don't know any handshake. I don't know what you're talking about. You fuckers.
Sound like...
The only reason I really went was because there's a road over here. It's a Broadview Road, okay, and it's 5 lanes. It's 2 lanes going both directions and a center turn lane. There's a little bit of business on one end of it, and then there's like a little bit of residential, and then there's some businesses on the other end of it. For the most part, this road is 35 and has been 35 the entire time that I've lived here, okay? Now all of a sudden it's 25. Now these road pirates are going to be out here, right? So, I mean, I just went to go find out. I just wanted to find out, you know, like, how could you expect people that have been used to that their entire life just all of a sudden, you know, decide to drop it? And it's a 5-lane road. It's not like it's a one lane or whatever. So, you know, the safety director got very upset when I asked that question. So I was very surprised at how defensive he got just because I was asking a question. I was like, what the hell? You know?
God forbid you don't just obey.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, like I said, it's ridiculous. You're going to have people over here, lifelong residents who, I mean, I've already seen it because I know that it's 25, so I go 25 now. Mm-hmm. You know, but other people I know that live there that I see there every day are not doing 25 because they're not really paying attention. So they don't see that they've changed all the signs from 35 to 25, you know, and it's an open invitation. I live on the corner over here. There's a school over here. The first day of school, they started running that 20-mile-an-hour zone over there. They had motorcycle cops out there the whole day. Every time the signs were on, the motorcycle cops were out there. It's like, you know, why don't you like send people a notice or something, give them a warning instead of just out there.
Barrel, man.
You know, you get a ticket, you know.
Fish in a barrel.
Yeah. I mean, I went out there with a sign. I was holding up a sign. I'm like, Greater Cleveland Copblock and Parma Police would like to remind you that school's back in season, you know, and I went around walking the crosswalks and showing everybody. And people were saying like, well, what are you doing? I'm like, well, I'm holding up a sign. They're handing out tickets. Which way would you rather find out that it's the first day of school? You know?
Yeah. Hey, kids, have a great day. Now Dad's got to go to work so I can pay off his fucking extortion tax.
Yeah. It's another bill. There you go.
Yeah. I got a bill from Captain Dickhead back there. Yeah, it's funny, you know, near where I live at, there's a speed trap, and it's right by the high school, and it's funny because I can see it's, you know, a couple blocks away from where the police station is, and I have a lot of friends who will, as soon as they see it, like I use the app Waze, and that's how anytime I see a road pirate, I'm posting it up on Waze so everybody knows this is where the road pirates are. Yeah. But, you know, people find, you know, clever ways like Facebook. People will post up, hey, this is where the road pirates are. And it's really cool because I've seen an increase because I started doing it because not everybody was on Waze. I'm like, hey, road pirate here. And I can see how more and more people are like, man, this is bullshit. We should be not against them, but we should be against them. And we should help each other instead of them. It's cool, man. It's catching on, Dio. It really is.
I know. I mean, you speak of Waze, and like I was out on 480 the other day, and I couldn't get the goddamn phone out fast enough because there was so many. I mean, there was like 1, 2, 3, 4 cops right in a row, and it was like I didn't have the time to input it. You know.
Yeah, it's funny because, you know, it's not, I like to go, I go on a lot of vacations, you know, I go away on short trips and stuff, and I take it, and anytime I go, if there's somebody that's with me or I'm riding with somebody, it's always out, and they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm freaking telling people where the cops are, and we'll be driving down the road, and one of my friends who was older, you know, he's not a technology guy, and I'm like, hey, slow down, there's a cop a mile ahead, and he's like, what are you talking about? And then it started a really good conversation. Like, it's just another way to get the conversation started of how we can, you know, as a society, just help each other out and keep our money in our pockets because they take enough.
Yeah, I mean, those badges start conversations. They're not all good, but
yeah,
they start some conversations. I got that one cop to repeat it like 3 times. You know, shiny badges don't grant extra rights. And yeah, because, you know, a lot of your colleagues think they do. So I figured if I ordered a badge, maybe I'd get some extra rights too. But I can't even park in a handicap spot.
I don't need any more rights. Like, I have enough rights. If you guys would stop worrying about infringing on those ones that I already have, I wouldn't need any more.
Yeah, we'll be okay.
Yeah, if you guys would just, like, leave those alone, I would be completely happy.
If y'all just get the fuck up out my ass, we'll be all right.
Yeah. But part of shall not be infringed, don't you understand?
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
That's another day, another time, another show.
With that food truck event, I mean, God, what if I was carrying a firearm? I would have been tackled, tased, fucking who knows what else before they even found out I was legally carrying a fucking gun.
You would have been Jeffrey Weinhaus.
Yeah, seriously, man.
That's scary.
They shoot him. They almost kill him, right? And now they want to put him in a fucking cage. Are you kidding me? Didn't he suffer enough?
Right. Yeah. You nearly killed a guy. I think that they're just mostly mad because he's not dead.
Yeah,
and
probably.
There's witnesses, and I really hope.
They want to try to get him into a setting where they can say, hey, look, we'll leave you alone, you leave us alone, and we'll try to, they want to try to make everything go away type thing. And, as far as I know the guy, he's not going to go away, so.
I don't know, I was looking at that. Kelly put up the link in the chat for that, the thing about the video for the watch. I'm looking at the post on the CopBlock.org, and it mentions it.
Mm.
It does.
Yeah. I was just wondering myself because I had thought, a lot of people had forgotten about it and whatnot, and it's like they almost killed the fucking guy. I mean, he's lucky to be alive at this point.
Yeah, it's right here. It's basically a still shot of Henry Folsom shooting at Weinhaus, captured on watch camera, and it's got a still picture of what looks like to be an officer in a green shirt with a badge firing his weapon.
Where is that? Is that that YouTube link there?
No, it's actually on the CopBlock.org.
Okay.
It's in the chat. Kelly posted it up.
Yeah, if you scroll down to the bottom, it looks like.
I was wondering because I couldn't. You got me multitasking. I can't read and talk at the same time. So.
I struggle with one thing at one time.
Cool. Yeah,
there you go.
I was wondering. I was just recently wondering what had happened with him and everything, and I'm glad to see that at least we're still paying attention.
Yep.
Yeah, that's one thing that's really hard. It's really hard to keep up with all these things, and that's why there's some that I just keep up on, and that the one with the Frederick, Maryland thing, that one hit me hard. I was not happy about that, and this Jeffrey Weinhaus thing, that was another one I stuck with.
It's every day. There's no shortage of stories. You can't walk down the fucking street anymore. It's there. It's everywhere now. Used to be a little bit harder to find. Now it's like, oh well, there's another one.
Yeah, there's no shortage of material. It's funny that you say that because whenever we're getting ready for each show, we post up and we send each other messages and stuff. And there are so many articles that are important that we never get the opportunity to cover. And we have to really be selective with.
You got to decide.
We do.
It's really hard,
probably,
man.
Yeah.
We could do this show for 5 hours a day.
Oh yeah.
Not run out.
Hey, I got nothing to do.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. We probably post up a good 20 plus articles to each other every week for the show, and we usually only cover 5 or 10 of them. And that's not even all of them. That's just the ones that really catch our attention or we happen to see and put up.
Yeah.
I mean, there's many more.
I got people telling me on Greater Cleveland that I post too much shit. I mean, I post it. What do you want me to do? I can't ignore it.
Yeah, that's one thing. People get all rammy and they just post everything, and I really tried to slow down and pick better content to where it's not like, whenever you have that person at say work that just babbles on all the time, and it's like the shotgun effect. Just throw a bunch of shit against the wall and see what sticks.
Mm-hmm.
If you would just be I try to be very selective with what I talk to my friends about, or people that I know aren't on the same page as me. And I'm just
my wife doesn't want to hear the word CopBlock ever again.
Oh man, she's a hell of a woman. She hasn't left you yet.
I know. That's the one thing I'm appreciative of. I'm lucky that way, but
yeah,
she really doesn't want to hear it anymore.
Right on. So
I don't want to see that fucking badge when I'm eating dinner ever again. But she's a good woman, so it's good. We put up with each other, so.
There was a thing I saw the other day. It was he was talking about I can't believe we put up with each other's shit this long. Hey man, you've made the investment now. But I also heard one of my friends was talking about why a divorce was so expensive. I'm like, I don't know, man. That's not anything else I have to worry about. And he said, well, it's worth it. You got yourself a point there.
Hell yeah.
Now, did you guys see the video coming out of Southern California?
Which one's that? Is that the one that Joe was talking about a minute ago?
Yeah, that one. I seen it yesterday. But yeah,
I have that one in my. That's one of the ones that's in my tabs on my browser to talk about.
So you haven't watched it yet?
Go for it, man.
You haven't watched it yet, then?
No, I kind of was. That was the one whenever I was having that issue earlier, and I was like yelling at everybody before the show. I'm like, everyone just shut up. I can't hear anything.
It is a crazy video, and they beat the crap out of this guy. And
Was that the one where the guy was on the ground and he was sticking his legs up, and the guy was just winding up and cracking him in the legs with the billy club?
And you can hear him hit him with the billy club in the leg.
Like,
you're like,
oh man, it's horrible.
It is. You're like, you just. I can hear when you just hit him. That's horrible sounding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is just crazy.
That one I did see.
Yeah, I can't. And then you see the Photography is Not a Crime did an article on it, which is the article that Joe put up, talking about how they're claiming that that he deserved it because that gentleman was in a fight earlier with another gentleman.
Like I said on I said on Greater Cleveland earlier, you know, and then they start putting on the fucking rubber gloves like they walked up on him bleeding, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They made him bleed, and then they put on the rubber gloves like, oh, I don't want to touch him because he's bleeding. I mean, you fucking did it to him, asshole.
Yeah, that's like the cop that tried to sue the guy for breaking his hand whenever the cop punched him in the first place. Fuck that guy.
Are you kidding me? Dick of the week.
Oh, man. We didn't even get that far. We got so much stuff going on.
I'm telling you. Yeah, it's tough enough dealing with it in my little corner of the world, you know. I'm lucky I got a little bit of help now and stuff. All we need is a little bit of money and we'll be all right.
Yeah, man. But it sounds like you guys are doing a good job, man. It's, you know, keep up the fight. You're doing a really good job. We appreciate you calling in and sharing your story, man. You're awesome.
I appreciate the interest. You know, I'm trying to highlight what's going on out there. So, you know,
there's no shortage of no shortage of content.
Right. I certainly haven't forgotten the names of the particular ones that I'm out for. So,
yeah, one thing that I had a conversation last night with a guy who actually was the guy that was the first person that I spoke with whenever I was wearing my CopBlock shirt. And he said, you know, we talked kind of about, you know, what Eric was doing with, you know, they're basically doing a yearbook for all the keen cops. And I think that the way that they're handling it is very good. It's very professional. But one thing is, you know, trying to maximize your impact on the turds and maximize your impact on the guys who you can actually reach.
Sure.
But what I mean by that is, you know, being courteous to the guys and figuring out who's the good guy and who's the bad guy, and getting the bad guy and letting him do his own dirty work and you know, staying out of their face, and then you know, reaching out to the guys that you might be able to turn and actually have an impact on them in a more professional manner. You know, if that guy has a history of being a dickhead, man, let him have it. But we actually need to get to the guys that are potentially.
Do you know it's taken me 42 years to get you get more flies with honey than you do with vinegar lesson?
You got it, brother. You got it.
That's a very important point of it, because you let them hang themselves, man. You know, give a nigger rope, want to be a cowboy. That's it. It's just they'll do it themselves. All you got to do is be as polite as possible, and they'll do it. They'll do it to themselves. What'd you say? Yeah, okay. I got it on tape.
Yeah, one thing that's, you know, really, really nice about the truth is it's not hard to recreate.
That's
right. You don't have to corroborate stories. You know, the truth is the truth, and you know, this is what the guy did. This is what the guy didn't do, and this is who stood around and watched it happen. And I get real hung up on that shit, man.
I was saying I have all the raw video for all that stuff that I have, and the only reason that I cut anything out of it was to cut out like where we had to give our names and things like that. I didn't want to have that stuff out posted and everything like that. So, you know, I mean, the video of Fairlawn, that's completely, it looks like it's edited and cut up, but I did not cut a single piece out of any of the video. That is all the video that I captured, frame for frame.
Wow.
You know, so anybody wants to try to say that, you know, we're editing or whatever, you know, I got 2 words for you: raw video, bitch.
So you need to call it. You're good to interact with, man. You got a good attitude about it. You got to call him more often.
I wish, you know, if I didn't have brain farts all the time, I would.
Have you listened to me and Adam? Without Eric, you know, we struggle. got a lot of empty air.
Hey, we made it so far. So
yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, we're doing. I'm surprised at myself, actually, because I can't stand my own voice. I really can't.
You don't have to listen to it.
Exactly.
You don't have to go back and listen to the show anymore. You know, it's already over. Just let it go. Like
Straba.
Nobody ever died from a panic attack. That was my buddies. Nobody ever died from a panic attack. Nobody ever died from a panic attack.
But they came fucking close.
So, wow, I can't believe we're getting towards the end here.
Well, I hope you didn't have anybody waiting. I took up all your time.
I don't know. I keep flipping back between these toggle screens, and we're reading articles so we can kind of keep up with it. But it's all good.
You got a dick of the week yet?
No, but I really think that next week we'll have 2 because Eric was unable to join us, and the guy that Eric had an interaction with this weekend was going to be our dick of the week because you don't fuck with our brothers.
Damn straight.
The dick of the week this week is, the guy with the funny badge and the attitude that messed with our friend.
Hell yeah.
So we weren't there. We can't give out the information. You know, we got the story and we talked to Eric, but there's nothing like getting it from the horse's mouth. No pun intended.
You ready? Get this. Get this. You could use this next time. Dick of the week. There you go,
dude. Your Dio, you now have a permanent.
Don't tell me I got to be the official voice
on our show.
Oh God.
Yeah, we won't. Don't worry. We won't call you. You call us.
I got to go turn off the lights 3 times now.
And our producer said we got it.
Yeah, he said he recorded
it. So, Dio, anything else? You got anything? Plug your page, plug what you're doing, get out your email, man. Oh, I think we hurt his feeling. Did you drop now?
Uh-oh.
Anyway, I think that we scared him away now, but we've already got him recorded. He dropped. So,
the NSA got him.
Yeah, the NSA. So you got anything to cover real quick? I just closed out a bunch of tabs here.
Other than, I mean, we never ran down the whole thing with Eric's thing. I mean, we kind of talked about it a little bit, but
yeah, man, we gotta let Eric do it. You know, he's got the good stuff. I wanna give him the time to shine, so we can do that. The one thing that I did see here was a Labor Day thing, national. You know, you get to pay us so you can work here day. In Tennessee, they did a no refusal blood draw DUI checkpoint. This is what they were talking about on policestateusa.com. And I'm not sure how far it went. You know, I really want to get some more information on it, but this is insanity. This is just absolutely ridiculous. And I think that there comes a time where, you know, you have to defend yourself. And I think that this may be one of those, because I'll tell you what, I'm not going down without a fight. That's ridiculous.
No refusal. Yeah.
What's that?
No refusal blood draws. It's asinine.
Yeah, and to that I would just say go fuck yourself. Yeah. So we do want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank all of our callers, and especially FPRN Radio Network. Without you guys, we would just be a couple of guys who sit here and talk to ourselves all night. But we appreciate it. For CopBlock Radio, you got anything else, Adam?
No, just big shout out. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the show. We love your support, and tune in next week.
All right, we'll see you guys next week. And remember, badges don't grant extra rights.
Against my will, to take aim, shoot and kill, to terrorize a land, and they do it with my hands.
Thanks for listening to FPRN. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter. If you'd like to start your own show with FPRN, advertise with us, or donate to the network or to your favorite shows, check out our website at www.fprnradio.com.
The brothers that I lost, the ones that paid the cost, the